Hi Taurus, welcome back for your update for April. Really interesting. I was looking through the energy and the playlist, and I realised I hadn't done Taurus, and I thought that's quite unique in itself because Uranus is in Taurus at the moment, and the collective energy is almost like we're wanting to know when we can get back on our spiritual path. So I find it quite unique that that's come up for your zodiac sign. And this can be quite relevant to what is going on with you guys collectively for your path moving forward. And I do feel it is connected to all of us collectively for our spiritual path. Really wanting to know where we're going, how we're getting back on track, how we're going to be able to get to where we need to be. There is, with the Libra moon, a lot of changes coming. Now, the first Libra moon we had was at 0 degrees, and that was all about endings and new beginnings. Hi, Giggle. With those endings and new beginnings, we do have, I do believe it's the next full moon, which theoretically, when we look at that, it's about what we need to release, what we need to let go of. Simultaneously, we're going to have planets going direct, planets going retrograde. So at a point, it's almost like in the eye of the storm, we're going to have a tad bit of clarity. But at the same time, you know, with the other planets going retrograde, we're going to have Jupiter going retrograde. We're then having Pluto, which is all about endings and new beginnings, and then Saturn as well. So the potential of, yes, we may know where we're going, but we will need to be delayed in doing such. So we're going, and it's really interesting, even with the Libran frequency coming through, I really do highly suggest in April, and this is for every zodiac sign, look at your shadow sign and see if it's in astrology at the moment, especially. And you may find even collectively what's going on is you're facing your shadow. Now, for Librans, for instance, with the Aries in Chiron, you know, and the moon being in Libra, it's all about the shadow aspect of ourselves and us directly looking at that frequency. We had Mercury retrograde, and it is theoretically moving direct, but it's still heavy frequency, potentially to the 18th, in a residue sense. But at the same time with that, what you find is you might have attained clarity, but suddenly you might not quite know how to directly relate to that. I keep seeing an energy of either too many hands in the pie, too many people's needs and wants, or potentially too many ways of the situation coming about. And again, that is collective energy. So you're not quite sure how to get to that balanced state. Now, with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, everyone throughout the year is going to be experiencing, hey, Dale, what we can do to get onto our path correctly with our family, with our loved ones, with our finances, with investments, with things that we're moving towards. So it's like sitting on a therapist's chair, one could say. And it's like, okay, what do you really want? How do you want to get there? And then, you know, in looking at how you want to get there, it's can you get there? You know, because it does take, you know, especially in the love domain, it takes two to tango. But again, I'm hearing too many hands in pie. Now, this could be because it's really, you know, the energy alone in April is a very much a karmic season. So it's a tying up of loose ends. It's a very karmic orientated frequency. It's almost like a April Fool's thing, you know, where you're looking at the frequency moving forward. It's not going to be a fun time, especially with the endings and new beginnings. And this is kind of like a cycle we're going through for the whole year. It's what are we going to have coming in? Hi, Mandy. What are we going to let go of? How do we bring these things about? And for Taurus, I'm thinking this is very relevant. I do see you in the eye of the storm, seeing what is going on around you, and you're going, it doesn't make sense, but I can't help. I can't help the situation. I need to let it fall. I need to let it be the way it's supposed to be, because I'm seeing hands tied, and the hands tied is really where you have power on your side of the fence, especially potentially where you've learned lessons and where you're seeing BS around you, and you're like, you can't teach stupid. This is just what I'm hearing. All of us collectively, as well as for Taurus, are feeling that. But you know where you want to go, but you don't know how to do that without causing mayhem. In your work domain, it can be that you're thinking, look, I know I can do better than this. I know this situation will be doing better than what it is right now. But what's blocking you is you may energetically, if you're tuning into two scenarios, and this is coming in very heavily this month, it's potentially blocking the ability to manifest things in. So because you don't know what way to deal with things, because you can see two direct ways of dealing with a situation, but they both have a consequence. It can potentially be you trying to play them over in your head prior to actually enacting them in real life. Sometimes when the trigger points are going to come through, you might not see the height of the clouds. So you're like, if I don't quite know how that's going to come about, I don't really want to directly react to it. I am seeing potentially conflict at work. Now, it might not directly be from work, but you're finding it hard to apply your energy to things at a high frequency. So the external energy of what you have around you and potentially your spiritual path, you might be finding it hard to balance your day-to-day duties. So you might feel lackluster connected to it, especially this month, because you want to get on your spiritual path. You want to be doing the things that make you feel high vibration, and you're just not feeling it right now. And I'm also feeling potentially toxicity around you with other people's, energies. And it's sort of giving you a bombardment of frequencies, and a detoxification is necessary. This could be a clearing of your home. Again, I'm also hearing a lot of energies connected to evil intent, especially when we are in such a pain body experience and that frequency kind of comes through in the collective. There is sort of like this paranoia that comes through. So it can be where we need to clear with citrine and, the onyx for the psychic protection. Again, I am seeing amethyst being very relevant to helping us actually kind of detoxify. So we're really going to have to use a lot of mediums in order to keep grounded this month. In your financial domain, you're going to have to, and 7 has been coming up really heavily, and I did mention at the reading I did this morning. Now, 7 is coming up for the collective and in your reading as well. So it's something that, always pay attention to the numbers that are coming through for you. With the numbers at the moment with 7, it's almost like, spiritual path. Look at it as a theory, because this is the overall energy of Taurus this year. You're moving into your spiritual path. How to get there is going to feel yuck and awkward. It denotes very well for marriages and balancing out and connections at the end of it, moving through. I do see success with you guys in the career domain, but the balance around you, with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, all is about, is this directly affecting your foundation because it's out of balance? Daydreaming and decisions is coming up. Now, 7 is connecting to, although you might not see what the bigger picture is, you're on the right path. And it's sort of like an oxymoron. It's like, okay, so how do I know I'm on the right path? Because you're actually being put on it. So some of it is no choice. So many of us are thinking that potentially we're on the wrong spiritual path. Have we got on the right path? Are we in the right place? Well, in fact, the 7's coming through for the collective. And for Taurus energy, it's saying you are. It's just you don't know how that's going to be, because the moon being in Libra at 0 degrees with a new beginning, it's like you've got a clear canvas. And you're sort of looking at it and you're stepping back and you're going, that's a blank canvas. Where are we going with this? The meditation time is very relevant to the 7, is disconnecting from the actual situation, hi Dale, and trying to gain some perspective. Now, that can be a very temporary perspective with the Mercury energy. There can be a lot of distorted frequency. It can be, okay, I'm wanting to buy what you're selling, but do I believe it? Yes, read your fine print, okay? Definitely this month, read your fine print. What's blocking you is the fact that you're wanting this abundance to come in. You're wanting your ascension, and it is connected to ascension number 7. You know, really moving beyond the situation, trusting in universe, knowing that everything happens for a reason. Again, very relative for Taurus, very relative for the collective on their spiritual path. Your family at the moment may not be learning lessons, and energetically you really wanted them to. You really wanted them to. And, you know, there's a method to the madness, but some people need to learn the hard way. So there might be dynamics in your family at the moment that you think, gosh, I've really taught them. I've really expressed, you know, I've been through things myself. Why can't they bloody see? This could be towards an external family member. It could be towards someone who you deem as family, a love interest. You know, dealing with their family or the karmic energies. However, this directly relates to you, they may not have learnt a lesson yet. This can be affecting you, but I'm seeing you super frustrated, standing back going, why are they doing this? But you're too tired to teach. Does that make sense? It's like, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone. It's like you can't teach stupid. And it's like, it's not that we're stupid. It's that you can't learn unless you experience something yourself. So collectively, what tends to happen is when we have a perspective or an opinion of something, 9 times out of 10, if we hold prejudice towards it, a karmic lesson comes about for us to learn that on the other side of the fence. Their energy and the method of how they learn is very different. You can always lead by example. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. You need to let them learn an energy on their own. And if it means a tower moment comes for them, it means a tower moment comes for them. Okay? So trust in the process. And I'm seeing this to be very relevant for spiritual path members. So potentially I may tune into this energy, you know, for Taurus, as well as for, you know, spiritual path members, because this is going to be a highlighted area. And I might do a separate video connected to the planets, you know, and the frequency of what planet is in what zodiac signs, so that we can get an understanding of what's going on and why it's happening. And it'll be coming through in your own zodiac signs if you're this. So trusting in the fact that perhaps potentially if you have a high vibration soulmate, which I'm doing the twin flame readings after, is that things need to happen in order to come full 316. Now, by the time we have the full moon in Libra, the energy of Taurus will be different. The energy of the collective will be different, but it can be an external scenario that hasn't learned a karmic lesson is going to come full 316. What's blocking it? Don't rest on your laurels, okay? Use your wiseness, but allow them to learn in a way that they need to. Don't do all the work, okay? Don't think you need to do things for people in order to better the situation. I'm hearing less is more. Sometimes when we're doing more, you get less. So people can't value situations if they don't learn in a particular way. This is what's blocking your Taurus, okay? And for those of you on a spiritual path, is thinking that you need to do something to help the situation move along. Because the frustration is you want it to move, and it's not. When actually, in fact, what's going on is let them do the work. If you do the work, it will block the lesson from coming full 360. Step back, allow the tower to come. Other people aren't realizing they can manifest. There's an imbalance. And so these frequencies, in a sense of all of us collectively not knowing what to do, how things are going to go, can we manifest? All these doors keep closing. What's going on? You're going to be seeing these energies around you and you're thinking, flipping heck, you know, can we just move forward? It's temporary. So pause. Try and have patience towards it at the moment. Get your chakras balanced. Don't do them all at once. You don't need to know where other people are coming from. And at the moment, it might be energetically. Everyone around us, spiritually speaking, is like, what intent do they have towards me? Especially towards Taurus. It's a lot of paranoia energy in all of us collectively, as well as for Taurus. because we're wondering, okay, on the spiritual path and the quest forward and on this transformation and, you know, with our families, with our kids, with karmics, with, you know, with our life, do we need to know everything? Because we potentially don't. What's blocking you is from knowing certain facts. But I do feel it's because of things that need to be finalised in order to come to the surface. I do feel these things will come up, but I feel that there is a blockage with that for a direct reason. I'll fully clarify. What do I want to use? Yeah, I'll use those. Okay. So, with other people around you, this could be, you know, negative energies. It could be people that are operating from a lower frequency. This is where the influence is coming into your life. It's seeping in the cracks. And you're on guard, wanting to stay safe. Collective energy as well as Taurus. The reason why you don't need to know everything is because the healing is coming through this process, which is detachment theoretically. It's trust in the 5D, although we're very much wanting the 3D. We may feel we're walking through hell, but we need to allow other people to do this as well so they can grasp how this came about. You know, we can't close chapters if we don't have to clean up the mess and if we don't realise where this all stemmed from, which is us actually knowing we do have our own power. Do we want to forever live in hell? Or what are we going to do to get to our spiritual path? What are we willing to sacrifice? You know, and this, it's very relevant with, again, everyone collectively, any zodiac sign, including Taurus, but Taurus is having a big change, is the fact that we're looking at the balance in areas for us singularly, not just connected to relationships. Let's heal. Let's fix this right so we don't have to keep going over old ground. The Aries energy in Chiron is about our wounds, all of us as humans, but us dealing with them assertively and correctly. It's like, okay, let's woman up, man up. How are we going to deal with this? Try not to take other people's burdens on, Taurus, okay? And again, collectively. Other people, that's other people's BS. You let them deal with it. Walking in beauty. If it looks ugly before it looks prettier, sometimes things do get that way before we can actually have that pretty picture. Again, I am seeing this as external energy to you, not just on your side of the fence. If it's on your side of the fence, what do you need to do energetically to make an assessment this month coming and say, right, how am I going to get to a point where I can understand? You know, sometimes when we're in a semi-codependent frequency, it can be, well, because this person didn't do this, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. It can be leaving relationships. It can be, yes, but this person's been so good to me, or yes, any of those scenarios. They're just so varied. It comes to a point where you have to look at yourself and you go, okay, this isn't about my kids. This isn't about my family. This isn't about the collective. This is about me. What makes me happy? Very separate to everyone's expectations. What expectations am I placing on myself that are hindering me from moving forward? And what would I physically need to do to take my power back and track back to where this all stemmed from, so I don't have to keep doing this loop because this is toxic. It's not a fun joyride. This used to be a fun house. Pink. This used to be a fun house. Now it's full of evil clowns. And, you know, the clown in the tarot is the Fool card. It's like we want to take a leap of faith, which is the 0 degree of Libra, but, you know, we don't want to move into more hell. And because everything's a delusion right now on our spiritual path, we're like, okay, is anything making sense here? Houston, we have a problem. The clarity's coming. Those of you who are in a relationship are called singles and couples. Now, the coupled, you're assessing, again, at a base chakra level, where is the giving and receiving in balance? Is it in balance? That's what you're wanting. If your family members, your partner, your boss, if everyone's ripping at you, it's affecting your relationship. You're needing to bring balance into that situation. Some aspects of what you're trying to manifest for your life and your relationship is you're wanting something to come to fruition. Some of you potentially could be wanting children. Some of you potentially want a relationship to get off the ground and go to the next level, but you don't want to be doing all the work on your own. You want to know that both of you are on the same page. There's a lot of giving here on your side, Taurus. A lot. You know, and it might be you feel people aren't as loyal to you as you are to them, and it's frustrating you. It's like, hey, I'm giving. What about my spiritual path? You know, you're wanting something to blossom. You're feeling like the soldier in the hangman position in reverse. Your partner has some opportunities coming. And again, the energies can swap. You both may have a decision to make. This can be in relation to moving, in relation to healing, wanting to communicate, but really not knowing what the truth is. That's because with all the energy of astrology, all of us collectively are on the pause button. Too many varied ways a scenario could be. Family at the moment and connections at the moment, again, I am feeling, especially for Taurus, it's like, okay, I'm not going to open up that can of worms because I know it's going to come out like a needle in a haystack turned into a mountain and a molehill. You're not feeling stable. You're wanting something to move. You're wanting a change to come in the foundation. Both of you collectively are wanting that in this relationship. You're really, really unsure if, you know, you can get things off the ground. But you're not willing to speak in a way that's going to cement things because you're still a little bit unsure. Okay, when it comes to your family, what you're guided to do in this relationship setting is when it comes to the factors where either you or this person is not opening up, answer the call to it. One of you take the first move. Now, if you're feeling this person isn't, like I said, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. Continue on your path and allow the universe to help you with that rainbow. I do feel as though, you know, again, there is a lack of maturity around ancestors at the moment because we're branching off and we're connecting with new individuals. So there's a lot of readjusting and putting the puzzle together. I do feel it's going to become quieter during the month for you, and I feel more, you're not going to communicate, and I feel you're going to meditate. You feel the judgment is up in the air. It's external to you, and you're not going to sweat it because it's going to be completely out of your control. And that's the truth. I mean, if you're doing everything you can within the relationship, but you're not feeling grounded, it's completely out of your control. You do the best you can. This is a temporary energy. Know that. If you can weather the storm, you will make it through the other side. You're wanting things, Taurus, to be grounded to move forward in this relationship. You're hoping at the end of this cycle that things are going to have that bright beginning. So it might be you're trying to have tunnel vision to cope, but some of your dreams are on hold. Your partner, I feel, doesn't want to look to the past, but I feel they need to look to the past. They're not communicating about this, and they're really trying to pretend that everything's okay. But really, it is going to come to the surface. But I do feel it is connecting to childhood. So they've got communication in reverse. Trickster. But I'm not feeling towards you. I'm feeling this is towards themselves because they got seeking the truth in reverse. They don't want to know. There's so many dramas around at the moment, they don't want to know. But they're trying to work out what family, home, love is, and all of us collectively are. The overall energy for Taurus this month is awaiting results. And again, base chakra. Trying to keep grounded, trying to get to the point where it's a stable foundation. And, anything we planted, seeing what the fruits of that is going to be. Sometimes we tend to think, okay, I planted that seed. The tree's growing. I'm waiting for the fruit to bear. The season has come. Where is the fruit? It's waiting for the fertilizer to come, or, the other person's involvement in the scenario to balance out. And again, it's a karmic phase. So know that universe is assisting you. Know that right now, this month, Taurus and the collective, the 5D is assisting us, but we're looking and assessing the 3D so that we can make executive decisions on what is going to move us physically forward. So we don't have to stay in this frequency within our relationships, within what we're going to invest in, and, really having a reality 3D check of what's going to work and what's not. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to actually gain clarity from your third eye, and only from an egoic point of view, because there is distorted energy coming in. But if you realize what's your energy, what's their energy, what you are supposed to deal with, what another is, you're going to become more grounded. But it's techniques you're going to have to use to detach, because all of us collectively are doing this. So even if you are in a relationship, you always have to check in with yourself and see if you're happy. Sometimes we go, is the relationship okay? Well, are you okay? If you're okay and you're willing to put the work into it and it's mutual, it will balance. Singles, using your intuition. Understanding when you're getting downloads. Looking at the signs and synchronicities. Knowing something's coming and it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be happy. You currently may not be happy. But there's a lot of trigger points around you. And this could be your vibration of you feeling, why does everyone else get the better roses? We want our spiritual path. It can be where other people directly are projecting this energy towards you. And it's making you feel at risk. They're not friendly. A lot of shadow work going on. A lot of shadow work to the point where you could be really scrutinizing yourself. Why am I doing the things I am? Why do I end up with the people I am? Why is this person looking at me in this particular way, who I'm romantically interested in? How directly do they perceive me? How do I perceive myself? Could have been third-party situations. It could be, again, the third-party energy doesn't have to be cheating. It can be a karmic energy. It can be there's too many hands in the pie. There's too many things this person's dealing with, or there's too many things I'm dealing with. That's relevant. Or how loyal is the energy to the path with me? Even potentially purging past tense frequencies of third-party energies. There's a lot of tie-up with third-party energies at the moment. It's not to say they're there, but the residue frequency and the clean-up effect is. Again, I'm feeling you just want to be really cautious. That's your mindset at the moment. There's a lot of purging with it. There's like, have I been stupid? Am I investing in this person incorrectly? Again, it's because certainly there is an energy where we get into the third eye and we're thinking on a path or on a relationship subject matter. What directly happens is that other person who we're tuning into, we're directly tuned out and we're meditating, even at a toxic level. It's to keep us busy while they're going through a transformation. But you're purging a cycle as they are to come together. Your fear is that by what you're seeing in the 3D, they are not vibrationally ready. No, that's because that's what April's doing. But you're feeling like you don't want to be an April Fool. Self-worth. This potentially could be why you're being cautious. But again, I'm seeing the blue over the face, similar to throat chakra being muted. Some of you will get throat infections. Some of you, your intuition will increase as the month continues. You know where you're not walking in your truth. This can be assertive energy coming out in throat chakra because you're losing patience, because you're wanting movement, because you've had enough. You're going to need the strength to move through. Okay, what's going on with the external? Yeah. Pushed into integrity. This is causing this. You looking at your self-worth, meditating, acknowledging what isn't working, acknowledging your frustration of the time. Very blue energy. Following your intuition, using your assertiveness where need be to push the frequency of this person into integrity. Okay, on their side of the fence, there is a lack of balance. It's preventing the new chapter. It's preventing them from shining and showing their true colours. What is assisting them with this? Universe. Again, 11 and 7 has been coming up quite heavily, sorry. Any questions? Okay. Okay, I'm hearing pride comes before a fall. This is going to cause conflict. Anyone who's kind of to the point where you're at the end of your tether, I do feel, because of all these things that are wished for, you know, there could be, again, the third eye with the ego. There could be conflict. Wanting this, knowing you're loyal to the path, it's going to give you that. But what are you willing to do to get it? Now, this is collective. I feel as though this month is going to provide the transformation necessary for final forward movement. I do feel it sort of feels like universe is stepping in to actually get the ball moving with this energy. Any questions? Again, if you are new, join the crew. I do live sessions regularly, especially I do need to do a twin flame update. I've got to do the twin flame Taurus next. I'll have a short break and I'll come back. And we'll tune into Taurus twin flames. No questions.